All right, so as we get started, why don't each of you introduce yourself to Robbie with your name and your major, and he will also introduce himself to you.
I'm Nick Rossini. I'm a finance major, and I go to Yale University.
I'm Robbie. I'm Brennan Hessenfeld. I'm a finance major. I go to Yale University.
Walker Hyder. I'm a finance major as well, and I go to Yale University.
I'm just Amanda now. I'm a marketing major and I go to Yale University.
Cool. I'm Robbie Lavarilla. I'm a finance major, also at Yale University, or I'm a job recruiter. So can somebody give me an example of a time that you did not meet a client's expectation, and what happened, and how did you do something to save the situation, rectify the situation?
Well, my aunt owns a bakery, and I was helping her cater for a wedding, and we didn't meet the expectations of the customer. She wanted, I think it was like a yellow cake or something, and we got her a white cake. So to rectify the situation, we obviously apologized to her. And then we also made a free cake for her, and then offered to cater another one of her events for half price to rectify the situation. And that worked pretty well.
You can repeat the question for them to stick, so it's fresh in their mind. It's a little easier to respond if you hear the question.
Sure, yeah. So give me an example of a time that you didn't meet a client's expectation, and what happened, and how did you attempt to rectify the situation?
Senior year, I was captain of the cross country team, and as captain, you were the coordinator of this program called You Go Girls, and you would run with middle school girls and like help them train, like just exercise and get physical activity. And at the end, there was a race. And at the 5K, half of my team, my girls, didn't show up. We let the teacher down. She was very disappointed. We had a team like group girls together to run with. They didn't have a personal one person to run with them. So to rectify the situation, we threw kind of a party for the girls to like kind of apologize and say I'm sorry for not letting them down, and we just threw them a party, let them know that we cared about them, and just try to make it up.
So yeah, give me an example of time you not meet a client's expectation, what happened, and how did you
Something similar that I've come across. It might not be exactly fitting, but it's like a project with a partner at school. And I mean, the client in that situation is the teacher, so trying to fix. It's like computer science, and I didn't put enough work in with that partner. He ended up having to do a little bit more than I had anticipated because I was busy with other stuff. And just moving forward, I'm gonna put a lot more work in and just fix the problems as they arise, as opposed to just putting it off and having the other people do it.
I have a similar situation, and I had a big workload during the week one time, and so I missed out on a due date for one of my assignments, and in this case, the client here was the teacher. So I worked with the teacher to push back the due date because I explained to her how difficult my week had been and how much work I've been through, and we were able to figure it out.
Great. So why don't we start with, thank you, Robbie. Why don't we start with feedback on how you felt in terms of your answer being relevant and as well as your confidence level. Who wants to start? Brennan.
Well, relevance, I haven't really been in a lot of client-facing situations as far as jobs go, so it's kind of hard to pick an event for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just kind of hard to answer the question.
I thought you handled it beautifully. You talked about you working in a, you want to actually move back a little because something gets knocked out with the stick. So that's fine, you're good there. So I thought that you handled it well because you did talk about a very specific situation in a catering, working with your mom. You got right to the point. You didn't meet her expectations. no blame associated. So that's a positive way to talk about it. We apologize, obviously, manners, right? And we offered her to rectify it. We offered her free cake as well as some half-price catering services, and she was pleased, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously people do get disappointed. The important thing is you took that situation and turned it around. So you hit each one of those pieces, right? So don't discount, as I said earlier, don't discount these other experiences. They're relevant, and you made it relevant to a business situation. So small business, such as your mother's a catering business, is not that much different in a small scale. If you might have 20 or 30 clients assigned to a portfolio that you're working with. It's the same idea. It's only the people that you're touching every day that you have to interact with. So, all right. So who went next? It was Jacema. Well, tell me how relevant you think you were and your confidence level.
I didn't have a lot of experience in the business world, but I felt what I said was pretty relevant. I was a little shaky. I didn't make as much as eye contact as I should have, but you did well.
Did you think that she could have improved on eye contact?
No, I thought she did fine with that.
That's such a, you'll see on the tape, we don't have to stare constantly. That's uncomfortable for everybody, right? But I think you did fine. You talked about the set up the situation. So you told me when it happened. You told me it's a cross-country team, and that there was a purpose to this story, which is to motivate and engage these younger middle school girls. And what was it called? Young Girl. It's so funny. So what I think you need to just clarify a little bit is I got lost. Who let who down? Because you said that the middle school students didn't show up, or
No, my team.
your students?
Yes.
Okay. See, I didn't get that. I was like, oh, the middle school kids just didn't show up, and then I was like, well, why would you have a party for them? But then I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll figure it out. So I got a little lost in that story. Great story to use. So the rectifying the problem would be, you took care of your customers in terms of getting them a party. I also want to hear another action step. What was the communication like with your teammates? So how did you guys handle that? Who talked to whom? Did you have a conversation with those?
Yeah, as captain, I
You did,
was
okay.
not pleased with them.
Yeah, okay. So you need to let them know they didn't meet the expectations, right? So I'd add that to your story. But these are definitely relevant examples to use in your behavioral interview questions. Okay. So next, did we have Nicholas went next, and you were talking about your computer science project?
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have the kind of client-facing thing. I haven't worked in many places where I'd have to do that and talk to customers directly, so it was just hard to, I was racking my mind trying to find something that would kind of fit. I mean,
That's
I know it doesn't
perfectly fine to
exactly.
use a professor or a project internally to.
Yeah. So I mean, like the client would be, my scenario would be like both my kind of partner in the group, because I'm, I have to do the work to get help them and the professor, obviously.
So where you might improve on that is focus more on how you turn that situation around, because you went on a little bit too long for my likes about you didn't do as much work.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it makes it, yeah.
How would anybody bring you back for another round
No, I
of interviews
understand,
if that were your answer? So focus on maybe there was an awareness that I wasn't participating as an equal partner, and midstream I rectified it.
Sure.
I stepped up to the plate. Same story, but told a slightly different way, makes you sound much more accountable and much more responsible. Right? Okay. And Walker, you had a similar story too. Talk to us about that. And you actually did say in this case, my professor, my teacher would be my client. Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a little shaky just because I know I have a lot of experience with clients like they all said too. I haven't been in like the business world, so I was just like racing to think of an idea or like an example.
So again, with some coaching, if I could give you some coaching on the delivery, I think you did well. You're sitting up straight, you had eye contact, saw some expression. So that's great. In terms of telling the story about working with your teacher to change the time frames.
Yeah.
In business, deadlines are deadlines.
Yeah.
That's why they use that word dead. You drop dead if you don't make them. So I think what you want to do is talk about the same story in a way that I worked with my professor to help manage my priorities. I realized my plate was full. Happens all the time, especially to new people in business world. We take on too much, everyone asks you to do something, sure, I'll do it. And before you know it, you have an insurmountable workload on you. So that's something that you could say my learning is I need to prioritize my deadlines and dates and set a schedule, and that's what I do from now on, that kind of thing. So small little differences make a world of difference for the listener. Okay, so great job. Make sure you're looking at the videos. I'll be posting them. Awesome. Okay, our next round.